So another thing with focus attacks too is that they can also be beaten by ultras and supers as well. I think there's some ultras that you can focus some parts of the attacks, but definitely not full because they'd be multi-hitting. But like I said, focus attacks have a lot of weaknesses, and I'm just showing them out to you. So what I'm going to show you now is that some attacks have focus properties. So for example, Balrog's EX Rush Upper. This attack right here can absorb one hit just like a focus can, and you will take great damage just like a focus as well, and it will build ultra meter as well. So this move is good because it does absorb a hit, but also you can take more damage too if the guy knows does a multi-hitting attack on you. Goken's counter here, this move right here, this also is the same thing. You counter attack and you take great damage. Let me show an example. See, Goken takes great health and then regenerates. So there's a lot of moves in the game where they have the focus properties too. So that's another thing to keep in mind as well. And they generally work the same. An interesting thing is that Makoto can combo her level 2 focus after a level 3. So let me show an example of that. This is just an interesting note that I wanted you guys to know. Also, another thing is that focus attacks have different speeds in which the attack initiates after you let go, and different ranges too as well. So look at the range on Makoto's. It's fairly far and goes fairly fast. But then let me show Balrog's here. It has almost no range at all. So this is very important to know, not only for your own personal character, but for your opponents as well. Okay, so I'm going to give you guys a scenario here, and basically, I'm just going to explain to you what happens when both of you do a focus attack at the same time. Now the key thing to remember is that the focus attack doesn't become unblockable until the third stage. Also, another note with the third stage is that it also gains armor breaking properties, which means that if the guy is focusing at any stage, no matter what, it's going to win. So when you're both focusing, it's basically like playing chicken with the opponent. And what you can do is when you're playing chicken with him, it's basically a race to who gets level 3. Now, when you start it off, if you're the first one to do the focus, basically you can hold it down, and if the guy's playing chicken with you, no matter what, you're going to win until he backdashes out of it. So let me show an example here. I'm Viper, and I'm going to show just a little game of chicken here with Chun-Li. So I can backdash out of it and attack her if she holds it all the way down. Also, if I held it down all the way, since she did the focus first, she won. So basically it's just a game of chicken. I just wanted to show you guys what happens when you both do it at the same time. Okay, so there are some situations where you want to always use a focus attack. And one of them is after a stun, if you dizzy them. Level 3 focus does a ton of damage. And if the opponent's dizzy, no matter what, you get a free hit. So using a focus attack level 3 after a dizzy is a very smart move to do. Also, another thing to note is that during the crumpled state, you can combo into throws. Your ultra throws or your command throws as well. So that's something else to note. It won't reset the damage though. And speaking of damage, focus attacks will do 2 hits. So it doesn't do like 2 hits, but it does the amount of reduction as if you did 2 hits. So that's something to know, that if you hit the opponent enough that he's dizzy in the first place, after the level 3 focus, you're not going to do too much damage afterwards. Okay, so there's some other strange properties too. If you happen to hit them with a focus attack while they're in midair, they'll do this spiral state basically, and you can pursue them and still juggle afterwards. So let me show an example of that. So use your imagination on that, and always remember to pursue them. You can even do uppercuts and things that you otherwise couldn't juggle with. Another thing too is after you hit them with a focus attack that puts them to a crumpled state, if you're not quick enough to hit them, and by the time their knees fall to the ground, they'll do this weird little flip, and basically you cannot continue the combo afterwards. And I think Capcom intended to put this in the game because they didn't want you to be able to combo a focus attack into a focus attack, and then there would be an infinite. But because of this, you're able to do these weird little combos that you couldn't otherwise do because they're in that juggle state when they flip in the air. So I'm going to show you some quick examples of that as well. See, that was kind of weird. See, that's another example right there. Basically, just use your imagination. There's a lot more than that. Also, since, like I said before, how doing a focus attack and crumpling them, it counts as 2 hits, and the damage scale is so high. Doing focus attacks is the perfect opportunity to go for a mix-up. And basically what a mix-up is doing a combo that doesn't combo, but it tricks the opponent by crossing them over. And it creates an opportunity for you to do max damage on your next combo. And since when you hit them when their knees are touching the ground and they flip up, so like this, they don't have too much time to react to your next move, and this could create some good mix-up opportunities. So let me show you some quick examples of that. So that was a very, very tricky crossover. So look how much damage I just did, and I just made it more ambiguous by just stepping back just slightly after I hit medium kick, and that's why the mix-ups or resets is definitely a good idea after doing a focus. Use your imagination. Let me show some more examples though. Okay guys, I'm going to show you another trick here. With Akuma, he can cancel any of his normal attacks into his Raging Demon. So the opponent can't always focus his trips all the time. So let me show you an example of that. So it makes Akuma a little bit more intimidating. Alright, another thing I want to explain in a little bit more detail, guys, is that after you hit an opponent with a focus attack, and then you dash, it's kind of stored, so you don't see it come out right away, but if you don't press anything after you dash, it will dash. So because of that, I'm able to input the dash and then immediately start charging for charge characters or doing whatever I want to do while the dash is happening. This is called buffering, but I'll explain that in another tutorial. But because of that, I'm able to do charge ultras after a focus attack, even though there shouldn't be enough time to do it. And after dashing, of course. So let me show you an example of that. So that's a neat little trick there, and it helps you for FADC and combos. Okay, another trick here. For focus dashing, for canceling your focus with a dash, if you hold forward before you focus, you only have to input forward once. So, for example, I'm going to hold forward, and I'm going to tap focus, and I'm just going to, or hold down focus, and I'm going to press it one more time, so watch. And what this helps is it helps for going past fireballs much quicker, and it also helps with if they're doing a move. Basically, when you cancel a focus with a dash, your dash is 1 frame faster. So in other words, your dash is just a little bit faster, and the distance is a little bit shorter too. So this is something to note when you're trying to get in really quickly, and I'll show an example of that right now.